Did you come to Earth for a reason and a purpose outside of just being a human? It's very possible, if you come up upon this video, that you are here as a volunteer to support humanity in the ascension process of remembering who they are beyond this experience here on Earth. If this resonates with you, stay tuned to this episode because you are going to want to hear what I have to say about being a volunteer here on Earth at this time. Welcome to the Soul Alignment Mentor Podcast. I'm your host, Angie, and I'm inviting you to explore the depths of self-sabotage, limiting mindsets, and the beliefs that hinder our progress in life. Through intuitive messages I receive from my spirit team, I share profound insights to help you live authentically and break free from these limitations. Join me now as we uncover all the keys to living your best life. Welcome back. My name is Angie, and I am your Soul Alignment Mentor, bringing you intuitive messages from my spirit team to help you align with your most authentic and highest self. So I'm using this handy mic today because I have had some feedback on other videos that my sound was off. So hopefully this will help you to hear me more clearly. If not, let me know and I will see what else I can do to help with that. So are you a volunteer? Are you here on Earth with a purpose, a mission, and a reason outside of just being a human? If you are, this is probably going to resonate with you, and you're probably going to hear a couple of things that I discuss and I share personally about myself and what I've observed in the world and the people around me that are going to feel really familiar or like maybe even a coming back to yourself. It might be like a puzzle piece that you've been trying to figure out. Why do I feel like this? What is going on with me? What is my purpose? Why am I here? I don't feel like I fit in here. You might have this longing to be somewhere else besides Earth. Well, that's because you might not be from Earth. You might be from another dimension here as a volunteer. Now, while we're a human, there's not really a distinct way to figure that out other than going through some kind of a healing process or a hypnosis process, such as doing a regression into a past life or a communication with your higher self. And if that's something that you want to look into, I do past life regression, I do past life clearings, I do energetic clearings. I do all of these things to help people discover who they really are outside of the programming that they have taken on through their human experience. But it does take some work to uncover these things about yourself and to begin to see them. I know for myself, I always had this feeling I'm here for something. There's something I'm here to do, but I never really knew what that was. I remember as a child, I always felt called to be a teacher. I felt called to help in some kind of way. And the way that I saw that happening was through being a teacher. Now, of course, as a child, the teacher aspect was going to be like at a school or something like that. But as I've gotten older, I began to see myself being more of a healer. And that led me down the path of wanting to do healing work. So I went to school to work in the mental health field. I spent time in a Christian college learning how to be a minister, to try to help people. Like I went down all these different paths throughout my life to learn how to serve, help, and love people. And I find it interesting that I can look back through my life and I can see that I always felt different. I always felt out of place. I always felt like I was trying to fit in or learn something that other humans wanted me to learn. But there was always this like deep part of me that could see, sense, and feel things different than other people. But I always just assumed everybody had those same feelings and sensations. I always just assumed that they understood what I felt or sensed or even heard. But as I've gotten older and I've awakened more and I've healed and I've reprogrammed some of my thoughts, I've been looking around the world and thinking, wow, they're not understanding it. They don't get it like I do. They don't feel what I feel. They don't sense what I sense. And that is because they are not here on Earth with that ability when they came in. Many of us came into this earthly process without having any other past lives, without having any karma. And so the karma that we pulled in when we came to earth was the karma of our family, was the karma of the experiences that we went through as a child and growing up and throughout our life. But the past life karma, the karma from another life, isn't there. And so we're not necessarily ever clearing that out. What we're clearing out is the karmic cycles of humanity as a whole. And so your frequency is going to be a lot different than the energies of those around you. And your frequency is likely going to be triggering for a lot of people around you as well. You may be somebody that's had a hard time keeping close friends, or you've cycled through people quite a bit in your life, and that is because your energy is triggering. You reflect back to people their shadows. You reflect back to people their wounds. And when you do that, people who aren't ready to see those are not going to allow that to happen. They may revert or run away. And this is not anything of your doing. This is something that they have to work through. And by you allowing yourself to be light, to be the person that helps people to see these wounds or these triggers that they have hidden in their energy, you're actually helping them to also shift their vibration so that they can get back in touch with their true self. So, how do you know if you're one of these volunteers? How do you know if you came to Earth purposely for a time such as this to help the ascension into New Earth energy? Well, one is you are here to clear out the karmic cycles of your family lineage. You have taken on a lot. You have decided, I am going to bring into my body, into my experience, everything that needs to be healed within my family lineage. And I'm going to break the cycle of karma for this lineage because after me, it is not going to repeat. So you are here to end cycles in your family. So think about this. How long in your family has there been trauma in one certain area? How long has a cycle been going on? For generations, for hundreds of years? Who knows? We really don't know. All we know is maybe what our parents and their parents, and maybe their parents before them understood. But think about that. Think about how far back a trauma could have been passed down or something could have been going on in the family. Some of the times what we can look at and see is we can see like alcoholism being passed down, or we can see abuse passed down in some way. Like there's always these different things that, well, my mom's mom had this and so I have this. And even karmic cycles of sickness, like we start to put blame on, well, my grandma had this, so that probably means that I'm going to have this, or my mom had this, so that means I'm going to have this. So what we're here to do is to see the pattern and see the programming and break the cycle. Instead of agreeing with this, instead of saying, well, this was passed down to me, we start to break the cycle. And that means healing ourselves. By healing ourselves, our vibration shifts, which opens up the energetic field for all the other souls that are connected to us in some type of way. So this could be our biological family. This could be chosen family. This could be people that have stepped into your life and played roles in some type of way as family members. This could be best friends. This could be karmic relationships that you fall into at some point. There's all kinds of reasons for people to come across your path because you are the one that is revealing to them what needs to be shifted and awakened within them. Now, you are not the one that is going to awaken it in them. You are the one that is revealing to them who they really are. And then they have their free will to choose to do so or not. So, just a little side note on this. My next book, my third book, is coming out and is called Parables for a New Earth. So it is a book about the consciousness awakening of humanity. And these parables are all channeled from my spirit team, the Wisdom Keepers. And the Wisdom Keepers have shared with us some insights about New Earth Ascension and about some of the things that I'm talking about in this video, as far as being a volunteer or what it is that you're here to do on Earth at this time as a volunteer. So be watching for that book. It's going to be released on September 1st. And I highly encourage you getting this book because it has a lot of insights. It's just little tiny short stories, very easy to read. You can put it put it down anytime and pick it up and remind yourself of what you need to be reminded of whenever that comes through. I don't know if you guys just saw the spirit a moment ago, but that flew through really quick. So just be watching for that book, Parables for a New Earth. So let's continue. What else? What is another sign that you're here that kind of maybe doesn't resonate with all humans? Let's go into this whole sensitivity thing. Are you super sensitive? Do you feel things so deeply that it almost like takes you out sometimes? Like you can feel sadness to this core. You can feel joy. You can feel pain. You like maybe even if somebody else is having an issue or problem, you can feel that as if it's your own. And that means that you are highly sensitive to energy, that there is not as much what we would call collective karma in your energetic field that is hindering you from feeling the collective's energy, from feeling the emotions of the collective. And so if you're feeling emotions all the time and they're heavy and they're dense, and sometimes you might feel like you're like, what is wrong with me? I don't know what's going on. I can't get over this. It could be because it's not your energy. It's not your emotions. You could be picking up emotions and energy from people around you all over the place. And you could be holding on to it as if it's yours with the attempt to help them to heal, thinking that if I hold this emotion, then they don't have to. But the truth of it is that's not true. That just brings that emotion into you and makes it bigger for them. So what you need to do is to examine your energetic field on a daily basis. I would recommend, what is I holding on to? What is this energy within me? Is this me? Is it my energy? Am I struggling with something? Or is it someone else around me that is struggling? Am I wanting them to be different? Am I wanting them to be okay? So I'm holding on to their pain in attempt to help them to feel okay. Because when you're holding on to somebody else's pain, when you're holding on to what they need to heal, they can't heal it. You've got to give it back to them so they can heal it. And even do a little process of saying, I'm sorry, like in the energetic field, saying, I'm sorry, I've taken this from you so that you couldn't heal it. So give that pain back. I know it's really hard when you can feel it and sense it and you know how it feels, but you can't heal something if somebody else is holding it for you. So you've got to let that go. You've got to give it back. And it doesn't mean you give it back because you want them to feel that. You give it back because you have the desire for them to process it and release it and let it go. And maybe your role isn't necessarily to hold their pain, but to stand beside them as they work through that pain themselves. And be a light, be a guide, be a support, be somebody that loves them through that. Earth beings, humans, are all wounded in the human experience by relationship. And we also all heal by relationships. So your job is to be a relationship being and to help other people to find their way back to themselves. But you can't do that if you're holding on to their energy and pain instead of letting them do it themselves. So, what is another sign or clue that you could be a volunteer here on Earth? You may look around the world and think, this isn't okay. I don't agree with that. That's painful. That's hurting people. That is not how it should be. And that is because you can see the energy, you can see the karma, you can see the cycles that humanity has been in that has kept them from ascending. And the reason you see it is because you are here to help it transform. Now, the way we help things transform in the collective energy is not by agreeing with it and coming into it and being the same energy. I cannot fight anger with anger. When you get two people in a room that are both angry and one starts yelling and the other one starts yelling back, what happens? It just becomes more. The anger multiplies and you can feel the energy shift in the entire room. So what do you do in that? Instead of responding with the anger, that you might feel, you respond with love, you respond with compassion, you respond in a way that you see, you start to become curious. What is causing this other person to become so angry? Why are they seeing it this way? And then when you allow yourself to come back into your truth as a higher self being, as a high frequency designed to be on earth for this reason, you can look at it through the lens of love and the compassion of your higher self and understand this is a cycle that this human has been stuck in. This is a cycle that collective has been stuck in. This is a cycle that the powers of earth, or the elites, or whoever we might want to call, have been stuck in. And so it doesn't mean you agree with it or you find a way to say it's okay. It means that you hold your light and your frequency, because by holding your light and frequency, it has to transform the energy around you. Light always overcomes darkness, but you always have the ability to turn your light off and to agree with the darkness. And that is where you need to be careful. So if you are struggling with what things are going on in earth right now, it's normal. That is just truth that you are seeing it. And the reason that you see it is because your frequency is not the same as it, or else you would be right in the middle of it doing the same things. But the way you engage with it has to be very strategic, and you have to understand that your frequency matters and the way you go about it matters. So if that is something that you've noticed, whether that is from your whole life or you've recently just awakened to it, because a lot of people are just now awakening to things. A lot of people are just now starting to see patterns. So you're not ahead, you're not behind, you're just right on time. So just trust that. Now is learning how to be the frequency of love in the middle of the chaos. There are two more things before I end this video, and those are, you've always felt called to use some type of healing modality. Like you maybe have always had this knowing that you have some special ability and you don't know what it is. And the more you awaken, the more your frequency shifts and change, you start to think, what are my gifts? What am I here to do? How can I serve humanity? How can I help heal? And so if you're drawn to helping people heal, that likely means that you are here to volunteer to help raise the consciousness and vibration of humanity and the earth. So my advice on that is to follow your excitement. Follow the thing that feels most aligned and easy for you. A lot of people come to me asking me this question, and I always reflect back to them, what makes you happy? What would you do every single day that you could not get sick of? What could you read a book about every day? What could you study every day? What could you watch on YouTube every day? What makes you happy? What lights you up? Because when you are happy and you are walking in what excites you, your frequency rises, which gives you the ability to then shift that frequency into the vibration that helps others to heal. Because if you're in a low frequency and you're doing something out of struggle, if you're doing something out of performance and you're trying really hard to do something, that is the frequency people are going to feel. So you have to be in something that is aligned for you and not be what other people think you should be or mimicking other healers or how they do it. Be yourself fully and authentically without apology. And sometimes it takes time to get to that point where you can do that, but do the healing work to get there, because deep down, you know that there's something you're here to do and share. And sometimes that doing and sharing is simply being a high vibration for others to see the light. And it doesn't mean you have to do anything. It means that you hold that vibration when you go to the grocery store, when you go out in public, when you're around your friends or family, when you are in your workplace. You are the light for this place, and to hold that frequency without apology. The other thing is, you've always felt older than what you are. You maybe always thought, man, I'm a little bit more mature than the people around me, or I get things a little bit different than they do, and I have a hard time relating with maybe younger people, or people my age. Maybe you're gravitating towards people that are older than you. I know this has been my case. I've always gotten along with people that are older than me. I've always been friends with people that are older than me. I've always sought out relationship with people that are older with me. A lot of my clients that come to me are older than me, but I resonate with them. I feel aligned with them. I know that I can communicate with them because it doesn't feel like a gap in my age. I have a clear understanding that on earth, age is just a number, and that my soul doesn't have an age. My soul's frequency is eternal. My soul's frequency is ancient. And it pulls in that wisdom when I'm aligned with my higher self. And that's how I connect with people. And so there might be people that are not able to understand me because they are not resonating at the frequency that comprehend what I say. And that's okay. That's why everybody has to be in alignment with their truth and their soul, because somebody else might reach them. And that is the purpose of the whole collective awakening. That is the purpose of having many healers and many volunteers and star seeds and light workers on earth at the same time, for us to spread out upon this earth and to share our light, to help people to see themselves through the higher self, through the I am frequency, through the universe's eyes, through God, source, whatever you want to call it. We are here to teach people who they are. And that is through shining light into the places that they are not. So if you resonate with this, if anything I said made you think, yep, that's me, leave a comment, let me know. And if you have any more questions, I would love to hear those. If you're looking for a community, either of healers or just a spiritual awakening support group, come join either my membership or healer circle, or both. Both are very reasonably cost. I have several people that are in both. And come hang out with us. Come meet new friends. A lot of the people in our group are meeting each other that live near each other, and they're starting to hang out, and it's so exciting to watch. And so if you're looking for a community of people to spend time with, come and be with us. We would love to have you. Every one of us would love to have you. So until we meet again, I wish you the best day, night, evening, whatever time it is for you. I send you all the universal love. Namaste.